Afternoon all. Welcome to T3. I hope we're well. I'll just make my tea. Hope we're all good. Lovely to see you back in my kitchen. Still in a sling, but I've angled it a bit better. Maybe just get some advertising. Hemsley Fraser sling, perhaps. That's what we need. We're going to talk about what we've learned from lockdown 1. Afternoon, gems. We're going to talk about what we learned from lockdown 1 from a business and an individual point of view. I thought we'd do that. Well, that might be nice. I've got a biscuit, nice biscuit today. This is, I just want to impress people, this is leftover Christmas biscuits. You know, them special boxes that you only get at Christmas that I bet we've all had. I'll probably just save that one. So that makes it look like I haven't really eaten them. Anyway, I've got a question as well. I was talking to some friends last night and somebody said, oh, here's a good question for you. Yeah, it's dark chocolate. But maybe that's why it's left, to be fair. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe the milk ones and the white ones have gone early doors. But chocolate's chocolate, you know, I think. So my question today, though, obviously Gemma doesn't like chocolate, is... so a friend of mine kind of suggested this question, and I haven't got an exact date, but it's kind of like at the back end of last year. How many daily participants were on Zoom? So as Zoom has taken off, and this is just Zoom, how many daily participants? And that means if you were on 4 Zoom meetings, that does count as 4. So it's not just individual users, but how many daily participants were on Zoom by the back end of 2020? Daily participants. So that's the question today. So get your number in. Yeah, globally. Yeah, globally it is. So that's what we're going for today. It's quite a lot, actually. I don't know if Crofty's there, but Crofty could be quite close with a ridiculous guest today. He might be working though. So right, wow. Well, there's a little difference there. 4 million, 2 billion. Rightio. Anyway, he is producing. There we go. We know everything. We know everything about everybody who's likely to be on it. So yeah, what we're going to talk about then. So I thought I'd talk about what we learned, because now we're in. I don't even know what number lockdown we're in actually. I'm thinking this is lockdown 2, but there seems to be various stages of it. So I'm going to call it lockdown 2. So what have we learned? Because bizarrely, I think we've kind of approached lockdown 2 in a slightly different way. We feel like a bit more ready for it. And so I kind of was just doing a bit of reading about, why is that? Why are we more ready? Our business is more ready. Are we perhaps more ready as individuals? I don't know. So a few things kind of came out. So a few things just kind of came out. And so things that we've definitely learned. Certainly one thing, nothing stays the same. So I think perhaps, when I think about all the time I've been at work, which is quite a long time, let me tell you, but I think things did move, but we were never really aware of it. But that switch that happened with the pandemic, I think it's really changed us. And now we're ready for that. Nothing is ever going to stay the same again. That's the first thing. Secondly, teamwork became more and more crucial. In the business I work in, teamwork is something that I probably trained for many, many years. And I don't mean people get a little bit flippant about it, but it's like, oh, yeah, it's teamwork. But I think over the last 9 months, it's become absolutely crucial, that connectivity, that involvement with other people, that working with other people, even remotely, became more and more important. So I think now we're kind of looking at it and saying that is a crucial thing, that we engage and we collaborate and work with others. Excuse me, I'm just out of breath there. My ribs have just caught me a little bit there, so I do apologise. So teamwork is crucial. Thirdly, buying patterns change. So people's buying patterns have changed. Certainly at Hemsley Fraser, I think one of the things I've noticed, and potentially colleagues as well, is lead times are way different. They were starting to shorten anyway, but people, maybe a little bit more cautious, a little bit more reserved about things. So that's one thing. So I think as businesses, we have to be ready for more flexibility and shorter lead times, which does make it harder from a business point of view to try and think about maybe long distance forward planning and that kind of stuff. Of course, tech is our friend now. It's always the enemy, but it is our friend at the moment. But I think when I was pulling these things together, and there was things, nothing's going to change the same, and nothing's going to stay the same now. It's never as good or as bad as we thought it was going to be. I think one of the things, yes, tech is our friend, but equally, what happened? What might happen if something wiped tech out? How businesses prepared or preparing for that, or are they just relying on it? And I think that's an interesting one, because tech is absolutely crucial to us at the moment. If we get back to a point where we can be back with people, maybe utilising office space or something like that, what happens if tech goes? Because there could be a tech pandemic, that sort of thing. For the people, trust is a key currency in pandemics, and in this pandemic, and how we've operated. And I think what happened was, for many years, people, it was felt that perhaps they wouldn't produce, they wouldn't be as effective at home, and working under their own steam. But I think the last 9 months, but some businesses have grown ridiculously because people have been allowed to think differently and challenge the way they've always worked. So trust has become a key currency for a lot of businesses. Invest in your people, in yourself, and in your staff. So us as individuals we now have more access because of tech. We better have more access to more learning, but also from a business point of view, think about, okay, now is the right time that we can develop our people, particularly different skills, like about remote leadership, about resilience, about taking on change. These are the key topics now that people need to think about. The offer that businesses make, we have to be a whole lot more flexible. We have to think differently. And when I was reading about this, there was quite an interesting little topic. And it was a relatively small business, but it was a wedding photographer. And the guy was kind of saying, we kind of did packages. We kind of said, okay, you can have this many photographs or this many photographs, the gold package or the silver package sort of thing. And that kind of covered everything. And of course, since the lockdown and the change in weddings, people were saying, oh, well, can I have this? I want this. Can I do this? This would be good if you could offer me this. And so they've kind of moved from that just short 1, 2, 3 offerings to a whole host of offerings, and being a lot more client led. So the flexibility in the products that people are offering has become important. Think about where you're going from your suppliers because of different restrictions in different areas. Is it possible that we can spread our suppliers? Think about where we're getting materials in to support the business rather than just one core supplier. Because we know now location is completely different for many people. Still remaining quality. So in these times, people want reliability and they want quality. So be the best in whatever you're offering. Aim to be the best. You can incentivize. Now, even something like this product that Hemsley Fraser's going out with now, live on a Tuesday, they're all there. They're all on YouTube. People can find them. We're pushing out a lot more, if you like, incentivizing people to hook people into Hemsley Fraser, which is what we're trying to do, promoting the quality that we can offer through a variety of channels. There is no bad time for the right market. So if you take, and what I mean by that is let's look at something like delivery, supermarket delivery. That now is not a bad time. So the market there is high demand. So if it's the right market, there's no bad time for it. And I think that's important, that we think, okay, well, is there an opportunity for us to adapt and change and deliver something that the current marketplace needs? And that's where things like click and collect in supermarkets, delivery has really ramped right up. It's never as good or as bad as you think. And so this kind of goes in harmony with another one, which was just do stuff. But whilst it is never as good or as bad as we think it is, we just don't always want to spring into action. But I think a phrase that I hear us use at Hemsley Fraser a lot is we want to change the wheels while the car's moving. So when first lockdown hit, there was a kind of a desire to almost stop and restart. And I think the successful businesses just went, we have to keep doing something. And so I think a lot of people are now ready to adapt and to change as they go. And that's perfectly right. I think clients are the people, the businesses we work with, accept the difficult circumstances. So we don't set out to be perfect. I mentioned about teamwork and how important it is. And of course, employee safety drops into that as well. So keeping your people safe. And I'm not suggesting that health and safety wasn't a key issue for people, but even more so, it's become important, whether that be at home. So we now start thinking about longer term, the conditions that people are working under. And the last one here is just about advertise. There's social channels that we need to advertise on, and still advertising these areas to build the business up. That kind of links in with your network. Your network is a real strength from a business or a small business. Words that I consistently read when I was like looking at this topic were things around organizations need to pivot, they need to be ready to change, they need to be tech focused, and they need to work with their people. For me as an individual, what have I learned that I think I can transfer into lockdown too? I think it's trust myself. I think it's trust myself that I can do stuff that perhaps I didn't think I could do. That willingness to want to do something different as something I've certainly picked up. Thirdly, as well, I think something that I've have you been Googling, Blarney? And thirdly, I think what I've kind of realised is that I do need people, even though I'm at home. That I don't think a day goes past where I don't speak to somebody, whether it be social. It will be social, but there'll be a professional connection. And I think I've certainly made that something that I've been doing. I'm currently not full-time at work, but I would always connect with people. And I think that's been one of my big learnings that I will take in to next time. So there's a few little things that we'll pick up. How many daily Zoom users were there? Matt Plant comes in right at the death with a guess of 250 million, and it is in fact 300 million users by the end of the year, I think it was. So daily users, but like I say, that could have been one person attending 10 meetings. But it's not 300 million individual users. So spot on that, well, nearly spot on, 50 million out. Just a bit high there, James, with your 2 billion, but good work. Anyway, I will definitely be here next Tuesday. Hopefully my arm will be swinging a little bit freer by then. But thanks for joining me. Have a great afternoon, and I'll see you next Tuesday. So thanks very much, guys. Have a great afternoon.